Hello again everyone and welcome back. I recently purchased some model trains from my friend Eddie. Some of you would probably know him as Captain Rolls here on YouTube. And I decided to do an unboxing video on what I got. Now something I want to point out here real quick is this is how I received the box when it showed up at my door. And you can see it's been somewhat broken open. Now I don't think anything's missing out of this, but there's some obvious telltale signs that this box has been knocked around quite a bit in transit. That being said, I'm just hoping that the contents inside haven't been damaged, but I'm going to go ahead and get this open, get everything out, and we'll take a look at what I purchased. Okay, that chewed up a bit of time, and I probably didn't show me unpacking everything, but what's here is what was in that box, and you can see I've got a bit of 00 scale rolling stock from both Hornby and Triang. Also got the Bachmann Rosie, got a poster here for the Detroit Autorama, couple 1/64 scale Crown Victorias by Greenlight, also got a couple cars from Corgi Jr., and also the vintage Lesney Matchbox. A couple more cars here that I'm not quite familiar with this manufacturer. Also got a Hot Wheels Range Rover Classic, business card for the Model Railway Emporium, and a little flyer here for Rocket Railways, which I think is a European retailer. But anyways, I'll go ahead and take a closer look at some of this stuff. Probably won't show everything, but I will pick out some of the more interesting pieces. The first thing I want to take a look at real quick is these vintage Lesney Matchbox cars, and these weren't part of my purchase. Eddie actually just gifted me these, and the one that really caught my interest was this one right here, and this is the number 17 Bedford removals van, which I remember a couple years back Marty actually did a restoration on one of these. This one I think has been customized because I do not believe they came out in this orange green color combination. So yeah, I think someone at some point has done some customizing. You can see on the bottom there, if I get it in the right light, it does say number 17, and in the back of the truck it does say Lesney England, but I can't seem to get it in the right light. This also has the crimped axle ends, so it's an older one, plus I believe this also has metal wheels, but it's just a cute little truck, I guess. But yeah, this has to be my favorite of the three here. But then there's also this one, which is the number, what is that, 39 Ford Zodiac convertible. And I'll be honest with you, I'm not a fan of the color combination with this. It's sort of like, I don't know, a salmon with like a all teal frame and such. It just, I don't know, just doesn't do it for me. But this is another one that has crimped axle ends. I'm thinking this might have plastic wheels. I noticed the rear wheels are pretty much seized, That axle is quite rusted. Also has a little bit of damage to the windshield frame. Got a little guy in the seat. I quite like that. That was one thing that Lesney seemed to do quite a bit with their Matchbox vehicles, is put a little driver in them in some cases. And lastly is this, I think it's the number 2. Yeah, number 2 Mercedes trailer. This would have went with the number 1 Mercedes truck. And I was kind of surprised this actually comes with the cover. And usually these are missing, but that was a nice little something as well. And I've actually got a couple of these, so this will just be another addition to my vintage Lesney Matchbox collection. But yeah, quite a few nice little vehicles. Like I said, this Bedford removals van has to be my favorite of the 3. I also want to take a look at these 2 cars real quick, and they're made by the manufacturer, I think it's pronounced Siku, but this is a Mercedes-Benz 250 V309 made in Germany, and basically a police car. And I like the overall look of this. You can see there's a I think a radio antenna on the back here, and it's made of like a flexible plastic so it doesn't get broken off. You got the beacon on the roof, stickers or decals, I guess, very nice. The doors do open, and there's a bit of detail in the interior of the car. Also like the wheels and the fact that the tires have writing on the sidewalls. Really nice touch. And again, just the overall look of this car is very nice. Also got number plate on the back. But also got this one here, and this is a BMW 2000 CS V266. Another made in Germany. Looks like somebody may have had their name on this at one time. This one, I think someone's done a little bit of customizing. The doors look to be painted silver. Again, they do open, although I think the spring mechanism either is worn or broken. But this is another police car, and you can see this one has, I think, the siren, also got the beacon. Again, another one of those flexible radio antennas. The wheels are not as nice as the one on that car there, but still an interesting little vehicle. I also like the steering wheel added to this as well. But yeah, pretty cool little cars. Not common sight, at least for me to have come through here. Okay, getting on to the model trains that I purchased from Eddie, we'll start with the Bachmann Rosie, and this is one of the big things I've been after lately, because as some of you who follow my channel will know, I volunteer at a place called Doolittle Station, and because of that, I have unlimited access to the model train layouts there, and I can even bring my own models and run them. And I wanted something that would stand out and grab people's attention, and Rosie with her lavender paint scheme basically fit the bill. And I remember that last year when Eddie and I met up and spent the day at Doolittle's, he was running his Bachmann Jr. set, which with the brightly colored stock, there was a lot of people who really liked seeing that. And I think Rosie, again, just being so different with her lavender paint scheme, will stand out and grab people's attention as well, which is basically why I wanted to get my hands on this. And I don't really think I need to spend too much time on the box. You can basically see what's all here. It's pretty much standard if you're familiar with the Bachmann packaging. But give me a second here and I'll go ahead and get this out. Alright, here is Rosie out of the package, and I do have to say I like the look of this model. Again, just the lavender paint scheme just makes this stand out amongst everything else that I have in my collection. And the overall look of this model, I have to say, is really good. And really the only thing that's bothering me at this time is I do think the proportions may be slightly off in some areas, but I don't think it really distracts too much from this. You can see that the finish is very good, and this is for a second-hand model because Eddie did take good care of this when he had it, and I don't even think Rosie's seen that much runtime. I do know there was one night there, we were in a group call on Discord, and Eddie had her on the rolling road just to see that she ran and functionality wasn't an issue. But again, I do like the way the paint has been applied. You can see the lining is pretty good, not seeing any issues there, even going on to like the boiler bands and such. I do like the face. Of course, we've got Rosie with her cute freckles, and I mean, that's adorable. How could you resist that face? You got our details like the hook and the buffers. Those have been put on very well, no issues there. And also, we've got the open cab, not detailed, but if you definitely wanted to add a crew, you could do that. Also, quite like the look of the coal load, even just for being a fake coal load, that actually looks pretty good. And also got details with the domes and such. The only nagging issue really is I do not like how the whistle is molded. I would have rather seen that as a separately fitted part. Granted, the Bachmann Oliver suffers the same fate. As for the chassis, going underneath here, you can see it is what it is, I guess. But the valve gear is very nice as well. You can see how that's been done. I do wish this large bit here was steel instead of plastic, because it doesn't match everything else. But again, I do like the look of the Bachmann Rosie, and I think this will definitely grab people's attention running it around on the layout at Doolittle's. Along with Rosie, I also purchased these 4 Hornby vans, which I wanted these so she had some stock to pull, and I really didn't want to purchase Thomas stock because I refused to pay $36 for a ventilated van. And these were the far better deal at only 10 bucks a piece, because Eddie just had these laying around and really didn't need them, so he sold them to me. Condition really isn't too bad. They could definitely use a cleaning, but overall they're pretty much complete. Nothing's broken off, nothing's damaged or anything like that. Like I said, just a good cleaning would help. The only issue is this fan here has the tension locks missing, but that's easy to fix. I do have to laugh. My friend Douglas pointed out here, these are Great Western vans, and yet this one is labeled Northeastern. I am thinking, though, possibility, if I get around to it, I may take time and re-decal these to be Northwestern vans, which would definitely make them go along with Rosie better. Another something Eddie generously sold to me was this Hornby closed van from their Thomas & Friends line, which, considering this comes in the original packaging and the condition of it is really good, it's definitely worth more than the $10 I paid for it, and I'm really appreciative to Eddie for, generously offering to sell this to me. But I think I'll go ahead and get the model out of the box here, and we'll go ahead and take a look at it. But this is definitely going back, because if you look on the bottom of it here, it actually says made in Great Britain. So this is, before the made in China stuff. But the condition of the model is really good. You can see on the front here, we've got the face, which is made to look sort of Railway Series-like, I guess. But it has plastic wheels. These are spoked. Also, I like that white rim on the wheel. You can see the little bit of detail on this. I mean, it's not highly detailed because I'm guessing this is a rather old tooling. The roof comes off, which quite often I've seen these are missing for that reason. So again, it's good to have that with this. And I'm not really sure what else I can say about this. It's just great to be able to have this van to add to the consists I have for Rosie. So these are the last of what I'm going to show, and they're old Triang passenger cars. Now, I'm not exactly sure on the details of what livery these are in or what railway they belong to, so if anyone can tell me, please do so. But looking on the bottom here, you can see they do say Triang, made in England, so again, that's older stuff. And overall condition really isn't too bad. I think just a little cleanup with some soap and water would do these a lot of good, and maybe touch up the paint and spots a little bit. I can see some chipping going on. But something Eddie told me about, and it's something I will have to address, is because these are old Triang models, they have the large flanges on them. So I'm going to have to do a wheel swap if I want to run these on the layouts at Doolittle's, because these larger flanges, they'll just hit the ties and make for rough riding. But again, I do like the look of these. And Eddie was even telling me there that I could run these with Rosie and they'd probably look like a good consist. Here is the brake coach, which is pretty much the same, just except the fact that it's a brake. Again, it says on the bottom there, Triang, made in England. And yeah, again, just a little cleanup would do this a lot of good. So I am looking forward to getting these fit to run again, and I think they'll be a great addition to my HO scale collection. Well, there's another look at the models that I purchased from Eddie, along with the extras that he threw in as well. And I didn't look at everything, such as these cars here and also these Corgi cars, and I pretty much just skimmed over these flyers that he sent. But I'm really happy that I finally got my hands on the Bachmann Rosie along with these vans, and especially at the price. It was a lot cheaper than trying to pick up Rosie from a retailer and then also trying to find some of these vans on eBay and then pay the shipping cost to import them to the States. But I'm also happy to get my hands on these Triang coaches that Eddie included. Looking forward to cleaning those up, getting them looking fresh and new again, and especially running them. And of course, I'm always happy when I can get more of these vintage Lesney Matchbox cars. And even these two Sikus, really happy to have these, and I'm looking forward to adding them to my diecast collection. But yeah, like I said, really pleased with what came out of that box. So that's basically going to wrap things up for this video. Like I said, really happy with all these models that I have for my collection, especially at the price I paid. I think getting these from Eddie was a lot more affordable than trying to purchase them from a retailer or hunt them down on eBay. So again, really happy to have all these, and just also appreciative of all the extras that he threw in as well. So I think that's going to be it for now. You guys can feel free to let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Also feel free to follow my pages, links in the description, and I will see you guys in the next video.